It's the little blue bombshell that puts a smile on your face. This is the 2020 Toyota 86 GTS, and it's a little firecracker. It's the little blue bombshell that's packed quite a big punch on the Australian car market. There's no doubt that the Toyota 86 has been a resounding success for Toyota in Australia, and now there is this, the 2020 Toyota 86 GTS. Now today is actually the first time that I have even set foot in a Toyota 86, and I have to say that I am very, very impressed. I actually thought I was going to be quite underwhelmed stepping into this car, but it has been a little cracker of a car to drive, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, let's start with the exterior of the car.
When the 86 was first launched in 2012, I wasn't overly thrilled with the look of the car. For me, it had too many angles and not enough smooth curves. But I have to admit that over time my thoughts have softened in that area, and with the GTS pack, an added pop of colour with the GTS specific Apollo Blue, the car has now really come into its own as a true sports coupe. The GTS has black 17-inch alloy wheels that work really well with the Apollo Blue paint and the rear spoiler. For me, the GTS really seems to hit the mark.
So now that we've done the exterior of the car, let's talk about the interior, which is my absolute favourite part of this car. The interior of the car has been absolutely surprising, and I mean that in a very positive way.
The interior of the 86 was a surprise as well. While the 86 does not have the highest spec interior, it's more about the new additions that have really made it feel much more sportier and more enjoyable as a sports coupe when sitting in it. The Alcantara inserts on the dash and the doors give the interior that racing feel, while the seats feature pinhole Alcantara inserts and shoulder supports, which add a really nice racing feel. Overall, the car sets out what it needs to achieve, and that is a sports car that is comfortable, not wallet busting on the fuel consumption, and makes you feel good when you're driving it.
If I was to be critical about a couple of things, and look, no car is perfect, I would say that while I really think the steering wheel is a great size and it's just nice for the car, a little bit more girth in the steering wheel wouldn't go astray, just to give something to grab onto. The central console here, it would be nice to have a cover over that so I could at least lean my arm over the top of it, which would be rather handy. In the last 3 Toyotas that I've tested, all of them have said in the cup holders on the doors, yes, this is for water and water only, do not put coffee cups in here, with the little logos. I like the fact that they feel that they need to tell everybody, no, no coffee, no coffee por favor. Now, as you probably know, I'm not overly a fan of having too much technology in a car, and in a car like this, I mean, it's pretty much the same case. However, it has been quite pleasant to have those creature comforts in here. But what I do like, and probably not many people would agree with me, and I appreciate that, is the fact that the screen in this car is actually quite small. And I don't mind that because it takes the focus off the technology in the car, and it does actually make it more about the driving experience. When you do put it in reverse and the reversing camera does activate, the angle of the screen doesn't lend itself very well to direct sunlight coming straight into the car. It's actually very difficult to see the screen. So, I mean, I'd say that's actually not a great feature. What I would like to see on the screen, though, is, given the size of it, is to actually have a little tilt feature on it so you can angle it so that that doesn't actually occur. Just something to think about, I guess. Nice. For a 4-cylinder engine, this car has a nice little crackle to it actually that comes out of the exhaust. So as I mentioned earlier, this car has the performance pack on the outside, and also there's some inside features that come with that performance pack and the GTS. First of all, The Alcantara finish on the interior of this car is a nice added touch. On the dashboard just in front of me here, we've got it spanning pretty much from the central console all the way over to the passenger side. It's here noticeable on the door panels. I like that actually, because when you put your arm up here, it's actually quite a comfortable feeling to have on the bottom of your arm as you're cruising along, enjoying the country roads. And then thirdly is the seats. The Alcantara inserts in the seats are very, very pleasant. Pinhole detail in the central consoles of the seats, which is very nice detail to have, but it's a very, very comfortable material to be sitting in. On that note, Toyota, as they always do, like in the Camry that I reviewed a few weeks ago, the seats are sensationally comfortable. And for sports car seats, this car isn't any different. It is an absolute pleasure to sit in this car. It's not just the seats, it's the driving position as well. There is a good amount of vision actually from the driver's seat looking out of the front. Decent amount of vision as well going out the back, and side mirrors. Yeah, all in all, I would say that as a coupe, this car has a nice amount of vision. The rear bulkheads on either side, yeah, I mean, like any coupe, they get in the way, but hey, you've got decent vision out of every other aspect of the car anyway, so it's not too bad. The dials in this car are all nicely lined up, nice, neat and tidy, very, very untechnical, very simply laid out. Rev limiter in the middle, speedo on the left hand side, a digital readout on the right hand side actually telling me how much Newton meters per torque that I'm actually getting out of the engine, as well as the amount of kilowatts. It's very, very practical. The overall finish of the interior of this car, I'm very impressed with. It is an absolute joy to drive, and the output of the engine, well, when I first got into this car, I thought I could do with a bit more power, but I hadn't actually pushed it too much at that stage. But I don't know. I think that it's well balanced actually. The amount of power that you get out of the 4-cylinder Boxer 2-litre engine that this car has, yeah, it's an enjoyable little car. I think it's just right. It's been balanced correctly. Certainly not going to get the power of a 6-cylinder out of this car, but this is more about having a bit of fun, enjoying the ride, enjoying the drive. Yeah, here we go. Now, handling of this car. The balance is very nice in this mid-mounted Boxer engine. One of the highlights for me is the noise that you get out of it is quite nice. I wouldn't say the ride is rough. The suspension is definitely sports suspension, but it's not ridiculously hard. You don't really want that. But there's two highlights for me that this car has unexpectedly thrown at me. That is the beautiful little shifter that you get here, which is the gear change. It's very short shifting. Boom. Very rock solid. Boom. Very, very stable. The other thing is the clutch. The clutch in a lot of manual cars that I drive is very heavy, very long, and it just springs back at you, and I cannot stand that really. It really does annoy me, because it doesn't have to be like that. And the clutch in this car is silky smooth. I'm very, very impressed with it. Sometimes I come away from a car and my leg's been sore. I've been driving it, all day, basically doing a test, going in city conditions, outdoor conditions, out in the country a little bit, taking it on tight turns like this, and by the end of the day, my left leg is absolutely done. But so far, it has been an absolute pleasure. It's a car that you can't help wipe the smile off your face. Nice black 17-inch alloys on this car on the GTS with Brembo brakes. And because it's not a 6-cylinder, or it doesn't have an 8 or anything like that, it's not heavy on the fuel. Goes quite well. Nice efficient little Boxer engine to get you going. it just makes for one very pleasurable experience. This car really is a combination of sleek lines, cool colours, quality finishes, and well-balanced performance. It's almost like a Pink concert. So far it's been the surprise of my 2020.